Hi guys, today Apple announced the iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 is here and we've been waiting for this device for a while, and Apple actually announced two iPhones, the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. The Plus is the larger iPhone 6 and it's also got a few differences which we'll talk about in a second. So let's start off with the iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 comes in at 4.7 inches with a Retina HD display. What that means is your resolution is 1334 by 750 and your PPI is roughly in the 300 area. So Apple says this is a very bright display, sharper, it also gives you wider viewing angles for the display. It is powered by an A8 processor. The A8 processor is an upgrade from the A7 and it's 50 times faster CPU and 84 times faster in GPU. So you've got better performance there. It also has something called Metal Graphics API, which should give you better gaming on your iPhone 6, also just better performance all around on the iPhone 6 itself. Now, when you move over to the camera of the iPhone 6, the rear camera is now, it's still an 8 megapixel camera, 8 megapixel eyesight camera, but it's got an f2.2 shutter and also aperture, sorry, I apologize, and also it has a 1.5 micron size, so which means that you get better pictures according to Apple, and you should take better pictures in low light and all this kind of fun stuff altogether. It only records at 1080p, so sorry guys, no 4K recording on the iPhone 6, but your slow-mo recording has been bumped to 240 frames per second, and your 1080p is 30 and 60 frames per second. So you've got solid 1080p recording as well as solid slow-mo on your iPhone 6. The front-facing camera has a wider angle view for taking selfies and also has burst mode, so you can go click, 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 and take as many burst photos as you want on your iPhone 6. So that's something a lot of people who like selfies would definitely enjoy and say, hey, at least my iPhone 6, I can take a lot of selfies with it, so that's pretty cool. Now, the iPhone 6, of course, comes in 16 gigabytes, 32, as well as 64. Pricing starts at at $199, and will be available for pre-order on September 12th, with you being able to pick it up in stores on September 19th. So that is the iPhone 6. Now, the iPhone 6 Plus. The Plus is the larger version of the iPhone 6, or iPhone's phablet, if you would. So that's the first phablet from Apple. It's a 5.5-inch device. It's not as wide as you think. It's longer and taller. What you have here is a device of 5.5 inches. The thickness is 7.1 millimeters compared to actually the thickness of the iPhone 6 is 6.6 millimeters. So both are very thin devices. And it is also powered by an A8 processor, so you get the same performance in there in terms of the processor. And also what you get is the same camera with 8 megapixel eyesight camera. The difference here is this camera has OIS, so it's got optical image stabilization, which means you should get better photos from the iPhone 6 Plus because of the optical image stabilization on there. So that's something that'll be interesting and good to see once it actually comes to focus. You still have the same front-facing camera. You've got the Metal Graphics API, so if you will have better gaming performance and things like that. Now, in terms of battery, Apple doesn't necessarily state what battery we have there, but they have given us some parameters to go by with the battery. You should get about 10 hours on LTE for the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus about 11 hours or so. Video playback, roughly around that, between 10 to 14. So you're looking at, I would say, roughly between a 10 to 14 hour battery lifetime on your iPhone 6 and your iPhone 6 Plus on both devices. Now, the other thing about the device, of course, it still has the Lightning connector. It's got Bluetooth 4.0. It's also got NFC to catch. NFC is only stated on one functionality so far. We haven't heard anything about NFC being used on anything else other than Apple Pay, which we'll talk about in a second. A quick word from my friends at Dollar Shave Club. Now, you guys are probably wondering how I wake up with this sexy shave. Well, I actually don't. And also, I don't like shaving that much because you have to go to the store and pick a razor, and there's so many different kinds. There are like 3 razors, 4 razors, ball razors, you name it, and it's a whole hassle. But luckily, there's a company who makes it easy for guys like me and you to actually shave. It's called Dollar Shave Club. They, for just a few bucks a month, they send you the razors at home with all the shaving equipment you need right at your doorstep. So you don't have to go to the store to get your refills. It always comes to you every single month. And that's pretty cool. For like only $6 a month, you can get their 4X shaver pack. And that's really, really cheap. Plus, they also have things like the Dr. Carver shave butter, which is really nice. Trust me, I've used it. And if you know guys like me who shave, you really need something like that. It really stops all the bumps and all that craziness going on. So shave time and shave money at dollarshaveclub/BooredAtWork and join now today down below. Apple Pay is Apple's new payment system, and it's Apple's new mobile wallet actually to bring everything together for you with your iPhone together. So the idea is you ditch your credit cards, or technically you leave your credit cards at home, and you can use your smartphone because you take it with you everywhere to actually make all your mobile payments, which makes a lot of sense. Now, we've seen this with Google Wallet and other payment systems, but Apple's really brought a lot of things together. So the way it's tied up, first of all, they partnered with American Express, MasterCard, and Visa. So those are already, those three systems, those three major credit cards are work with your Apple Pay. Apple Pay is a payment system. And also, it also is tied into your Touch ID. They've also included a new chip that actually encrypts all your banking and credit card information, so that it's encrypted and saved on your device, not on the cloud. So it's not saved on the cloud, it's actually saved on your device itself. And of course, the way you use it is just simply using Touch ID to actually activate it and make payments. Now you can use, Apple says that it's Apple Pay will be out in October, sometime in October. It also will be able to be used in 220,000 retailers across the nation currently. They're also working with Target and companies like that to actually have Apple Pay as part of the payment system when you actually shop online or things like that. So Apple has announced a lot of things pertaining to the iPhone. We have two iPhone sizes at 4.7 inches as well as 5.5. Apple has a phablet now. And also Apple announced a mobile payment system and also introduced NFC to the iPhone. Granted, right now we know it only works for Apple Pay, but I'm sure we can use it eventually for pairing devices and things like that altogether. There's some nice announcements with the iPhone 6. For me, I have to wait and see when I get my hands on the device on the 19th of September, so stay tuned then. We will give you, of course, an unboxing, our first impressions, and also eventually a full review of the iPhone 6. And of course, we will pair it with other devices like the Galaxy Note 4 and things like that to see how it compares to even the Galaxy S5. So that's pretty much the iPhone 6. If you guys have any questions or any comments about Apple's latest device, let me know. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and favorite this video so we can make more videos for you. And also do subscribe to the channel, top right hand corner of your screen or down in the description below. And definitely check out Dollar Shave Club. So this is Sunday E saying thank you and always very entertaining.